Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. First off, just want to say if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're been a part of the channel here for a little bit now, we're just kind of getting started. But I just want to say thanks to all of you who have commented and liked so far. And you know, if you're new and you see something that intrigues you, or if you liked it, I would encourage you to subscribe and leave a comment of what you liked or what you would like to see, etc. I'm all for making new videos, not trying to do the same thing over and over again. So but what I'm going to do today, since obviously I'm inside and I'm not fishing right now at the moment, I got a couple of items that I just purchased that I'm super excited to open for you. The first one is from Carl's Bait and Tackle by Ketchko. They're not even like, you know, sponsoring me or telling me to say this stuff, but so far I really like what they have to offer. You can sign up for it's like a yearly membership, but it's not a whole lot if you break it down like per month. But they give you like 30% off their lures and rods and reels and stuff like that. So I purchased something that I've seen that's pretty hot out there in the world right now of catching fish, but mainly bass. So here's what the box looks like. Hopefully you can see that. So like I said, this one's not, I'm also doing a mystery tackle box, but this is not part of that. This is separate, but this is also a purchase that I made here. So this is the first time that I'm seeing this with you as well. So this is a Whopper Plopper. I don't know if you can see that. I know it's kind of dark in here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to work on the lighting, but this is from River to Sea. So the good news is I actually was just a little bit ago looking at a Facebook thread of a fishing group that I'm in, and guys were talking about this specific brand, River to Sea Whopper Ploppers. Now the only thing I will say is, in the world right now with the coronavirus and everything going on, seems like anywhere you go, whether it be Walmart or Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's or online, most places are pretty low, if not out of stock, on like everything. But I found this. I had to look a couple different times. Gonna try not to hook myself since this bad boy has treble hooks. So there she blows out of the box. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, so it's got this tail thing on it, and then it's got some beads inside of it. There's a top water. But I've seen videos of guys just annihilating bass, even right now in the heat of the summer, and in Arizona where it's been 115 every single day. So I think, let's see, this one's a half ounce. So when I went to their stock the other day, they were completely out of every single one, every single weight with every single color. And then I checked a couple days later and they had only this one. But the thing I like about this one is it looks like a baby shad kinda. And there's a lot of shad and there's a lot of bluegill in these ponds and lakes in Arizona right now. So I'm really excited for that. Be right back. Alright guys, sorry I had to take a little break in the action to help the family. So yeah, going back to this is what I was saying was, like I said, this is the Whopper Plopper half ounce, and it kind of looks like a shad. Let's see if it has a... Doesn't really say like a specific color or kind, but I'm pretty sure it looks like a shad. So, but like I said, there's a lot of shad in the lakes and ponds in Arizona, so I'm pretty sure this will catch something. If not right now in the middle of summer, I know they'll catch stuff in the fall when it gets a little cooler, which it's almost September, so usually by the time October or Halloween rolls around, you know, it gets a little cooler. Fishing should start to catch up a little bit. So that's a Whopper Plopper. I'm gonna go ahead and put this off to the side. That way I can open up the mystery tackle box. This is my first mystery tackle box I've ever bought in my life or opened, and I haven't opened it yet. So this would be just like you're seeing it for the first time, I'm going to be seeing it for the first time. So if you don't know anything about mystery tackle box, here's what it looks like. There's a lot of different tackle subscription boxes out there where you can pay like a monthly subscription, you know, like anywhere from, I think the cheapest one out there is Lucky Tackle Box for like 18 or 19, all the way up to there's some more expensive ones for like 50 or 60, I want to say. But usually those ones are going to be like really good quality, and you're going to be getting a lot of value, I guess, overall. Like 6th Sense has a really good one, I've heard. There's a couple other ones, but they just come with a lot of stuff. And like 6th Sense, in my opinion, is probably one of the better looking lures. I'm not sure if I've ever tried anything from them, but their stuff on videos and stuff like that looks amazing. Looks like really good quality. So you're basically just paying, you know, what you're getting, what you pay for. So yeah, mystery tackle box. This one was only $10 with a discount code for the first month, and it's 20 bucks after that. So like I said, this is my first time opening this, so I'll go ahead and open it right here so you can kind of see it on camera. So first off, open it up, and they give you a couple cards here. You can probably see that. It says what's inside. I'm not going to read it yet because I want to see them one by one. And it gives you tips and tricks to dibble. If you've ever seen the first commercial that came out for this, you guys should go check it out, because the guy in it, he's kind of a grizzly looking guy, has a plaid shirt on. He's pretty funny. All right, so first thing that we got here looks like it's a Loco 10 crankbait by the original Cast Stake. There's that, if you can see it. Hopefully the light's okay and you guys can see that pretty well. Let me I'm gonna try to plug in my lamp and see if that helps in the background. Hang on just a second here. Boom. Not sure if that helps at all, but we're gonna try it. Okay, so all right, so back to the this is the it says Bass Go Berserk on the back. So it's 3.5, probably centimeters, and it's a ½ ounce, so it goes 5 to 10 foot deep. Usually if you look at a crankbait and you see the numbers, that's usually going to tell you how far down it goes, from my experience. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what it seems like. Actually, this is the Loco 10. It says it goes 5 to 10 foot deep. So that's, you know, the nice thing about crankbaits is these little bills down here. That's what gets it to go down the water, and it'll just go back and forth like a fish, like a small bait fish. So this kind of looks like a shad or a bluegill too. And then the perfect thing to do is find this depth of water and to just bounce it off rocks or the bottom, and it'll look great underwater. So that's number one. Moving on to the next one. Should have like 4 or 5 items, I believe. Next up, we've got a couple of, I think it's pronounced Daichi World's Sharpest hooks. So we got a couple of hooks there. You can see that there. So let's see here on the back. Let's see here. I guess it doesn't say. Looks like they're extra wide gap hooks, but usually you want to use these to, you know, string up like some plastics, like worms or little grubs, or you know, like a crawfish or something like that, you know. So yeah, that's Daichi. Looks pretty nice. Guess I'm not sure how. It says World's Sharpest hooks. I don't know how strong they are. It doesn't seem like it's bending very well. Usually a cheap hook is going to bend pretty easily with your hands. Like you won't even need pliers or anything like that to bend it. So that's item number 2, the Daichi World's Sharpest hooks. On to the next one. Looks like we got a swim bait coming up here or something like that. Ooh, I think I'm going to like this one. So this is a classic runner. Makes any swim bait better. I think this is an underspin, and I've been seeing these. Easy to fish. So just cast near cover and structure and use a slow retrieve. The vibration, sound, and shad profile is a deadly combination, effective on all largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass. And that's perfect for here because we have a lot of that in Arizona, in the lakes especially. We do have smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass. We have a lot of largemouth out here. I think this is technically an underspin. It's called a Roadrunner by Blakemore. But this looks like an underspin that I've been seeing on TV. It looks like it does have the one. It's got the main one, and then there's an extra body. So this one doesn't have a hook in it or anything like that, but just in case this plastic breaks, Plastics are pretty easy to break, especially if you start catching some fish. And this is a 1/4 ounce, so probably not going to go down super deep with 1/4, but I think I'm going to like that one because like I said, it may mix a shad and bluegill. There's a lot of those around here. Usually where there's bluegill or shad, there's bass. So throw that in some shallow cover, spin it slow. I'll bet you would catch some bass, especially in fall when it gets a little cooler. Right now it's pretty warm, so a lot of fish are kind of lethargic. So next item up, looks like we got some sort of plastic. Big Bite Baits, fortified with bite juice. I wonder what that is. What is bite juice? Bite juice is our own proprietary blend of scents and oils that we infuse into each and every bait. So it doesn't say what kind of creature it is, it doesn't look like. But let's open it up. And usually when you open these bad boys up, you can really smell that. Like, I wish you guys could smell that. I don't know if you can see. There's usually a lot of oil and stuff that they make. To me, they all kind of smell the same, but it's kind of oily. Oh, that looks nice. It's kind of a mix between like a crawler and a, what do they call that? I can't remember what that one long one with the long tentacles is called. So, but I like the blue. Black and blue seems to do pretty well out here, or black and blue in general seems to do pretty well in like stained water or not clear water. Sometimes, like, I go to Canyon Lake a lot, or Swirl Lake, Bartlett Lake. They kind of go back and forth. Like, anytime it rains, or if they have a lot of water open and running through, I think it gets kind of stained and not clear. But then as soon as the grass starts growing, it gets really clear. And it was actually pretty clear this last weekend when I was up there. Didn't catch anything besides bluegill, but alright, this looks pretty awesome right here. I'm liking this. This looks like some sort of crawfish. Alright, so this is by Excite Baits. I don't know if you can see that there. Try to hold it up so you can kind of see it. Sorry about the lighting, guys. I'll have to try to figure that out, but I'm going to take these out. So this is green pumpkin color. Raptor Tail Junior, it looks like. I really like baits like this where, if you guys know what a Texas rig is, look at that right there. That was beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if I can move the light around to be able to see it better. But that's what it looks like. It's got these little tentacles right here. So these, what will happen is when this is on the bottom, if you set it up right, these tentacles will go up in here just like a real crawfish. Like it's going to be like this. So this is on the bottom. The backside's on the bottom. These will be up in the air fluttering kind of, depending on the water and the current and stuff like that. But a lot of times if you just jig that like this thing will be up in the air, and there'll be a bass leg up here. And when you move that thing, it's going to look just like a real crawfish is trying to defend itself with the pinchers. And a lot of times, a lot of bass will bite head first, and that's where your hook's going to be. All you got to do is set the hook when you feel it, feel a little thump, or you watch your line, and your line will start moving too. So, there's only a couple of those in there, but I really like the look of those. It says high floater on there. I'm not sure what that means. A lot of times these baits, plastics will have salt. The amount of salt content in it with the oil and stuff like that they mix around it to make it smell. Sometimes that salt, I think the more that they put it like on worms and stuff like that, that will help it sink to the bottom faster and better. So this must not have much salt content, because usually you can feel it, and this says high floater right there on the box, on the bag. So I think we're getting close to the nitty-gritty here, folks. This might be the last one. But I'm looking at this. I'm liking this. Look at this. Oh, I just saw this on one of their ads. This is called the Exopod, enhanced with Biosyn. There's 7 in a pack. This genetically modified life form comes with various fish catching enhancements. A Biosyn infused double-tailed exoskeleton produces unmatched erratic action. Rigging options: Texas rig, trailer, bloated jig, swim jig, punch rig, or ball head jig. So basically what I would probably do with one of these is Texas rig it. It's kind of like the last one a little bit. A lot of these baits are going to kind of have some similar features, just because a lot of fish are really going to kind of go for the same kind of thing. Like anything that has any kind of tentacles like that, if you can see that. This one's just smaller. It has kind of a more grub-like body, but then it has these little pinchers or tentacles, whatever you want to call them. And the nice thing about when they have two like this, I think these will just go like this, And so when you pop it up off the bottom and it comes back down, it'll go like this. Fish just, well, as soon as you pop that, most bass are gonna pop it on either the stop, so when you bring it back down it stops, or as it's falling. So these pinchers or tentacles will be going like this, and it'll take it on the way back down. Because bass are predators and ambushers, so they usually kind of see their last opportunity, or they see a fish like when it's weak or dying or fluttering, or if they're behind it, they will try to smoke it. So, but yeah, these look nice. These have kind of a darker, kind of muskier smell. I don't know how to. It definitely doesn't smell good to me. It wouldn't smell good to a human, really. But that could be good, because that's usually going to mean it's going to help you catch some fish. So I'm really liking that. So I think that's it, guys. Let me see. That's what the box looks like there. I don't know if you can see that or not. So just to run back through them real quick one more time, just in case you're getting on later, just want to see a little bit. Try to do a quick close-up of all of them. So we got the Excite Baits Raptor Tail Junior. That's the little crawfish looking ones. And then got the ones I just did there. This is the Exopod with Bioscent. Yeah, so it says flanged kicking claws, narrow head for increased water flow, and jointed exoskeleton. I like that. Then we got this Big Bite baits. Like I said, I don't know what kind of creature bait that is, but those are blue. Smell really funky, so I might catch something. Now I got a crankbait by Loco 10. Like I said, that goes 5 to 10 feet deep there. That one should be pretty good around here. Some Daichai World's Sharpest hooks there. Got 2 there. I think they're extra wide gap hooks or something like that. Maybe like, kind of looks like a 2 or 3 aught maybe. Probably might say on the back somewhere. I have to open it up. And then last but not least is the, I think this is it says Red Runner. It's like an underspin, I think. I've seen a lot of YouTubers catching fish with this, and I think you can catch pretty much anything with this. It does say bass on the back, but I think even crappie or things like that would go for this. So we do have some crappie around here too, so that's really nice. So, but guys, I think I'm gonna go fish with this. Let me see if there's anything else in this box. Might just be a couple of so the monthly spotlight, this was the Biospawn. I think I saw that in the box. That was the big one that has the Biospawn on it. Let me read it to you. Or actually, you know, I'll just skip that actually. There's a couple of cards here. 4 things to remember when junk fishing. I don't even know what that means. Here, I'll read these to you. 4 things to remember when junk fishing. Number 1 is go with your gut. If the spot feels right, give it a shot and make a few casts. So one of the things, this will be kind of a little bit of a tutorial on casting. Especially, I guess it doesn't really matter if you're on a boat or on a dock or like shore fishing. I'm a big fan of finding a spot that you think looks juicy. I always say they look saucy or juicy. Just basically like it looks like a great spot for fish. Because usually if you think fish is going to be there, or basically if there's water, and it doesn't matter in my opinion. I mean, it does matter, but as long as there's water there and there's fish there, you can catch fish. But a lot of times you just have to play around with different kinds of baits, because you could go to a lake or pond and fish the same spot 2 days in a row, and one day they'll be eating spinner baits, the next day they won't even touch your spinner bait. A lot of the weather and pressure and I mean barometric pressure, and also fishing pressure, where people are actually fishing the ponds, that stuff affects fish a lot, and they become kind of smart. Fish are kind of dumb and they're kind of smart. It's crazy how they work. That's what's kind of fascinating about fishing. So yeah, what I was gonna say is when you go to a spot like that, one thing that's good to do, they call it fan cast, where I would always try down the banks, because a lot of fish like to come up shallow, and remember I said earlier they're ambushers, so they're gonna try to pin or like ambush like a shad or a small bluegill or a small fish or a crawfish. They're gonna try to use the bank and rocks, shallower water and things like that, any kind of structure, anything that can get in its way, to ambush whatever it's trying to eat. So if you can get your bait to kind of look like that too, you're probably going to get bit, and you're probably going to catch some fish. But yeah, just first start off casting down the bank, and then a fan cast is you just go a little bit out, a little bit out, a little bit out, a little bit out, and you kind of just go around, and you just cover some water. That's the most important thing, and that's something that I actually need to get better at, because I tend to take a chair and get comfy and kind of sit down, and not really cover a lot of water. And that's something I'm going to try to do next time I go out, is I'm going to try to fish with some of these lures. That's part of the reason why I'm super excited about getting them. Super excited about trying to get some footage of me both trying and hopefully catching some fish on them. But I really want to try to use these baits and my rods and reels to try to cover more water, because that's the thing is, you know, say spot one doesn't work out, but you go 2 spots down and you just keep trying. Usually once you get on some fish, that's usually a lot of fish like to they like to school up, and they like to go in groups. Usually where there's one, there's more. And a lot of times with bass, at least I like to catch bass out here. A lot of times with bass is when they're in those schools. Sometimes you might catch a dink at first, but if you start catching 2 or 3, if you can figure out how to entice the big one out of that group, and a lot of times, sometimes the big one will just take over, or be like a competition thing. You could literally catch the biggest one out of the group, and that's where sometimes, maybe not all the time, but I see a lot of guys on YouTube and on TV and stuff, that's where they're catching like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 pounder. And I guarantee you, if you catch a 5 or 10 pounder, it'll make your day. And because my personal best right now is only like a 2.5 pounder that I caught out at Canyon Lake a couple years ago. But I also I grew up fishing, but in Nebraska where I fished, there was hardly any largemouth bass or bass at all. It was all catfish, walleye, bluegill, sunfish. There was some white bass in like Harlan, but like Johnson Lake mainly just had walleye and catfish. Like my dad and I would always night fish catfish there in the canal. But out here, you know, I haven't, and I'm just starting to I'm still improving at a lot of things, and I'm trying a lot of new things to try to get better, and I'm watching a lot of videos. That's why I want to start making videos too, as I start to learn things, and hopefully get some stuff on footage or whatever. I'd like to put that out there, and just kind of see where it goes. This is more of just a fun thing for me right now, especially since the coronavirus thing's going on. Fishing is a good way to social distance, I think, and then also just get outside. I mean, obviously out here in Phoenix, there obviously are some spots in Arizona where you can drive to outside of Phoenix and get out of the heat a little bit, like if you go up north, or you know, up to Show Low or Payson or something like that, or you're gonna get out of the heat. But those are really far drives, and sometimes you just don't have the tackle, or you don't have the boat, or you just don't feel like it, or you don't have the time, or whatever, you know, or it costs a lot, you know, with gas and equipment and stuff like that. So the closest lake to me is probably either Saguaro or Canyon, which I think Saguaro's technically closer, but I like Canyon more right now. And Canyon or Saguaro has a fire by it too, so I think it's kind of hard to get to. That makes me kind of nervous sometimes. But Canyon's about 52 minutes from my doorstep. But I mean, I used to drive that or more when I lived in Nebraska because it's so rural and there wasn't a lot of lakes close. So, but anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Oh, I guess I gotta finish these topics. Let me just read these real quick here. So number 2 is keep it moving. So I kind of talked about that. Covering water is the name of the game in junk fishing. I guess I don't know what they're referring to as junk fishing. Maybe this is the junk, I'm not sure. But anyways, that's what we just talked about, so that's good. Number 3 is take notes. Pay attention to each bite and then replicate that process later on. So a lot of times when you're fishing, if you get a bite in a spot and say the fish just doesn't take it, or it takes your bait or something like that, usually if you re-gear up real fast and try to do it as fast as you can, but usually if you can cast just past that spot and roll back through there with the same kind of bait or something similar, or something that you think is going to bite it, sometimes even switching up your presentation just a little bit will usually hook that fish a lot of times. So that's where they're talking about take notes. You don't necessarily have to write down stuff on a piece of paper. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. That's great. Whatever helps you out. You can do it on your phone nowadays, or tablets or something like that. But at least keep it up here. The number 4, the last one, is make a plan. Research the water before you fish and rig up your baits based on what you learned. One thing that I like to do before I go out is I don't like to drive to the lake or the pond or the canal or whatever I'm fishing and not have everything ready, because usually I'm pretty amped up and I'm ready to get my line wet and try to catch some fish. So I like to plan where I'm gonna go. I like to do a little bit of research on the waters. I like to look up like fishing reports, maybe put something on Facebook, put a little nibble out there and see if anybody will tell me if they've been catching stuff, etc. But the most important thing is like your rod and reels and stuff. Even if you just have 1 or 2, get those babies ready and try to think about what you want to do when you first get there. Like tonight, if I go out, I'm going to put one of these lures on here, and then I'm going to have everything ready to go so that I'm ready when I get there. So, and I'm trying to learn also, just one last little tidbit, I'm trying to get better about starting to pack lighter, because like I went to Bartlett Lake, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from my house here, but it was on a Saturday morning. I got up really early so I could get there when the sun was coming up. But I did do that. I researched the waters, I had everything ready and all that good stuff. But that was one of the times where I just kind of sat in the same spot, didn't fish the whole dock or change out my lures a lot. But the other thing too is I just want to get better about packing light, because that day I had like all my tackle, so I had a big backpack with all my stuff in it, which is heavy. I also had a cooler for like my night crawlers, and then I had some water because it's stinking hot out here. And then I think I had a chair or a net or something like that, but I just had like 4 or 5 things, and you know, you only got 2 hands, and you also got to carry your rods too. And I have 3 rods that I usually take out with me, so I think I'm just gonna start taking 2 rods unless I need my 3rd one. I just use my 3rd one for my eye bobber. It's like a little fish finder bobber kind of thing that you can hook to your phone, and it'll tell you the water depth and if there's fish under there and stuff, which I really like, and I want to start using it more. So maybe if I do take 3, at least I'll just use that one for the bobber, and I will have to switch out. But I'm almost thinking about just taking like a really little tackle box and putting it inside of my cooler, because I'm usually always going to want to take my cooler, because you know, you want to have something to drink, obviously, especially since it's hot. And then to keep I usually take like night crawlers or something like that too. So night crawlers out here and in most places is probably going to work pretty well. Live bait, I would say, if you can get it, use it. But also these things mimic that stuff a lot. So but anyways, hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna try to get some footage of this stuff on the water here, either today or tomorrow, or maybe this weekend coming up here. I'll try to kind of put everything together. But if you have any questions, comments, anything that you liked, anything that you want to see, any suggestions, anything like that, let me know. If the lighting wasn't good on this, I'm sorry. I'll try to work on that. I'm really new to all this stuff, like any kind of camera use. Fishing, not so much, I guess. I do have a lot of experience fishing in general, but I'm still trying to improve on that and get better at that and stuff like that, and learn stuff. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe, and get out there and go fishing when you can, and hope you guys catch something. If you do catch something, or if you have a good time, just feel free to comment some pictures, or you know, let me know where you went and what you did and stuff like that, and what worked for you. Okay, thanks guys. Have a good evening. Bye now. And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful night here in Arizona. I'm gonna hit up the canal tonight and try to use some of the lures and items that I got in the mystery tackle box. I'm also gonna try to use that whopper plopper that I showed you, and we're gonna try to get some footage on the water, and I'll give you a review of each one as I can, and hopefully we can catch some fish. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, came to a spot. I'm gonna try again here, see what happens. This water is really moving here. There's a fish right there. Ooh, I got one. Oh yeah, that feels like a good one. Nice. Heck yeah, baby. That was awesome. You see that, man? Yeah. That was awesome. This is a topwater lure, my first topwater fish right here. Got her on camera. I got one on right now, actually. Yep.
Nice, good job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
You gonna post it up somewhere?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is called Fishing with Trav.
TRAV?
Yeah. Check it out, man. Thanks. Guys, this guy's, look how he's hooked. He's hooked inside of his, the side of his face. I don't want to hook myself. Man, that was awesome. I knew this would work. This is my spot. And this freaking thing has been on fire online. Guys are using it to, come on, hook. Get out of there. The guys have been using this hook online to catch fish like crazy. God damn. Whew. Oh. Man, the hook came out and he rehooked himself because he flopped. How dumb is that? He hooked himself even better. Dang. I gotta figure out how to get this out of here though. Yeah, man, he hooked himself even in a stronger part of his, oh, there we go. Come out of there. Come on. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. First, I'll tell you, I don't know if it was because he was in the current or what, but that fish smoked this thing. And it got real stiff quick. But hey, that was literally my second, I believe my second cast in my spot over here. Really sounds like somebody's shooting something down there. Some kind of gun or something. How do I, this is all tangled up. Take this down here. I don't know.